Hello, everyone. Peter Dennis here. What follows is a channeled audio recording of an interview that I had in preparation for my most recent book. That book is entitled The Channeling Connection, The Process, The Beings, and the Messages. It's available as a paperback, an ebook, and an audiobook from Amazon and from most bookstores globally. This interview is with the Guardians of Light. It was channeled by Teresa Greco, and to both Teresa and the Guardians, I am most grateful. Here's the interview.
Hello.
Hello, Guardians. Uh, First of all, welcome, and secondly, thank you very much for being here today. I know you were probably listening into the conversation Teresa and I had, so I hope you understand what we're doing here. Would you be good enough to explain for our audience a little about yourselves? Who are the Guardians of Light?
Thank you for inviting us to be here with you today. We are a collective from what you might call a different dimension. One who operates the greatest intentions of love, peace, and one who wants to offer guidance to those who are looking to understand more about themselves, the human collective, and the universe beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you call yourself the Guardians of Light, and that raises a couple of questions in my mind. One, do I understand it correctly that the light is really the source essence? And the second part of my question is, why are guardians involved in that? Does it need guarding or garden? Does it need to be guarded in any way?
So you were correct in the first part. We are referring to energy as a light. And not that it needs to be guarded, but more like a parent would be a guardian of a child.
Okay.
Guardians in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in that way, are you then shining your light throughout the universes? Or are you sort of zeroing in on planet Earth and humanity at this time?
We offer our guidance in to many other collectives, in many other dimensions, not only the human one.
Now, you're doing this in this case with Teresa. You're channeling through her, providing information, as you said earlier, that would assist humans. Are you working in any other ways with humanity?
We are always sending positive energy to humans. For often, many of you are operating in low frequencies of energy.
Mhm.
And we shine our light and love towards the planet with hopes to raise the vibration of those of you that are there at this time.
Mhm.
You could imagine us like this with our hands open and directing that love and light and energy towards the planet.
Mhm. And at this time, as I understand it, we are evolving to a new dimension of consciousness that involves a higher vibration. So would it be fair to say that you are assisting in that sort of evolutionary step?
There are those of you that are progressing in that way, while there are still many that are not. There are more doors that are being opened, metaphorically speaking, to those that are wishing to pass through those doors and to reach other levels of consciousness. Those are being made more available to those who are wishing to make those transitions.
Mhm. I would suspect that most humans are not even aware that such a transition is available or taking place. So, are you influencing some of those who are, say, asleep to this idea, helping them to awaken to this idea?
Not so much.
Hmm. So, you're working more with those who are aware that they are evolving through this, I guess, taking on a higher vibration and assisting them.
That is correct.
Yeah. Do you have an overall message for those people?
The ones that are transitioning or the ones who are not?
The ones that are transitioning.
Mm.
I guess if they realize that they are transitioning, my question really is, what message would you have for them to help them to get on with it?
We ask them to be steadfast in their commitment to understand more of that, of who they really are. Do not waver in your commitment. Hold true to that which you know is true in your heart. Do not let the world take you away from that commitment. For a new world will continue to open up to you as you stay committed to walk along the path of your evolution, your spiritual evolution. While the world may distract you from that commitment, we ask you to play and spend more time in those activities that help you to stay connected to the truth of who you are. Playing more in those spaces and in those activities are a constant reminder of why you want to be there, where it makes you feel so good, alive and happy.
You say stay committed, and I get the impression that that may be challenging in some ways. And I know right now in the world there is a fair bit of disruption. We're seeing tornadoes and hurricanes, and many of the structures are crumbling. And I understand that is to make way for renewal and new structures and systems. Is there anything you might say besides stay committed that would help us to actually stay committed? What would be a good tactic or response to some of the chaotic things around us so that we can stay committed to this spiritual evolution?
What we mean is, when you make a conscious choice to commit to your spiritual evolution, that it is not one that you waver in the sense that one day you commit and decide to taking the steps towards understanding more about that which you really are. And then you will let the events of what occurs on planet Earth to pull you away from that decision. The events on planet Earth are constantly changing and also evolving, and you cannot remain in the past, but rather you are evolving too, in minuscule ways, so minuscule that in many ways you are not even perceptive of those tiny changes that are constantly occurring within and without, meaning outside the body. Making a decision to stay on that path requires constant practice. Requires that you bring more of that part of yourself, the beingness part of yourself, into your everyday lives. What we are referring to, Peter, is that this is not something that you participate in when times are good, when you're on vacation, when you have time to connect with that part of yourself. What it means is that you become more aware of that part of yourself on an everyday basis, that it travels with you, let's say, with all of the things that you need to do every day, everywhere that you go, that the essence of that which you are is always with you and always present, where you operate from that